Hi guys, welcome to tonight's flight as we are down in London City and we are going to take that flight down to Aberdeen. Now I've checked the METARs we're using the real-time weather and it's saying down there at the time when we flew this morning we've got 33 knot gusts coming down into the runway. We've got 230 at 21 gusting at 33 and we've got a few clouds 4,000 and we've got some at 1,200 which are broken. Visibility is at 8,000 meters. So we've got the aircraft here. We're going to leave 27 in the 737-900 and we are going to blast out of runway 27 on the 273. We're going to take the Brookman's Park 1 Alpha, which will see us do a right turn. We won't make that turn until we're 1,110 feet in the air before we can make that right turn and max 200 knots, so it should be a good flight tonight. Got a nice risky takeoff along with a nice bumpy arrival, so we'll see how we handle things. Don't forget to like and subscribe guys, leave your comments down below, help us get to that 2,000 subscriber goal. And now we'll get into the cockpit and start the 900 up for our departure from London City. Okay, so we're in 737-900 now, so we'll go ahead and put our battery on and guarded. Our standby power is guarded and the ground power is on. We'll light up our panels so we can get the aircraft lit. There we go. Go into our overhead now. We'll light up the cabin just quickly whilst we get everything all set up. So if we have a look on our departures, we can see that we are right here. We're going to basically taxi onto the back of 27, come round and then blast off. And we're taking the Brookman's Park 1 Alpha, where we're basically going to leave the runway heading of 273 and then we'll make that right turn. And as you can see, no turns below 1,110 feet and max 200 knots as we go up. And there we go, straight ahead to Lima Charlie Whiskey 01 and direct to Lima Charlie November 01, which is right here. Then we're going to the 051 and 3,000 feet, which will hold all the way to Brookman's Park, and then we'll carry on our departure out. So go ahead and we'll get everything all aligned now. So we arm the emergency lights, put our fasten seatbelts on with our chimes, get the one pump on, we can go to bat and ground power. We'll align the IRSs and get everything all done there. We can test everything out. So we'll do our stall tests. Check the flight recorder. If we can get it to work, there we go. That's fine. Max speed 1 and 2. Turn on the trim air and we'll get our packs all up and running. Turn the engine starts to both, we'll turn on our anti-collisions and we'll get the electrics 1 and 2, the APU bleed and we'll get the APU started as we get out quite quick. Go down into the FMC now and we'll get everything all configured in. So we're going to be leaving London City and we're going to be arriving in Aberdeen where we'll go to our departure. So we're going to be leaving runway 27 on the Brookman's Park 1 Alpha. After that we'll go over to our routing. And then from Brookman's Park, we've then got the Uniform November 601, which is going to take us to Leicester. Then from Leicester, we've got the Uniform Yankee 250, which will take us to Glasgow. From Glasgow, we've got the Uniform Papa 18, take us to Neteb, and then from Neteb we're going to go direct to Findo, and then from Findo we're going to go direct to Glesk. As there is no star for the arrival, Glesk is the start of the arrival procedure for 3-4. So from Glesk we'll then go to our arrival. We're going to take the ILS 3-4 and transition for Glesk. So we'll activate that up. We can now go into our FMC and get our positioning. So Echo Golf Lima Charlie. We'll go in and get it from the left GPS. the aircraft will come to life. There we go. Okay, so go to our perf and get everything all done here. Got reserves of 2, a cost index of 55, going for a flight level of 320. And get our ISA as well whilst we're here. So 262 074, and the ISA is -52. There we go. Okay, so have a look on the airport now. So when we taxi on up, we'll enter onto the runway, and then we'll backtrack round and take off for runway 27. So get the APU started now and get the pumps all on. The yaw damper as well can come on. Go to the APU gen, which is all good. We'll test off our tests.
Flight slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Airspeed low.
Okay. So what we'll also do is we'll track the Brooklands Park VOR, which is a 117.5. Okay, so there's Brooklands Park, 15 miles away. Can be leaving on the 273, which is set. Go ahead that in on our courses as well. Light up the first officers, which is set. Auto brake can go to RTO, and we are now practically all set to go. So we'll go 320. Landing elevation is 215, so we'll leave that at 200. Put our logo on. Go to our takeoff now, as we want full takeoff, and we'll do climb 1. Flaps. Go flaps 10. 143, 144, and a 152. Okay, which is set. We'll arm the flight directors now, as we are all good to go. So, what we can do, now the engines are all ready for us to go, we'll do a bleeds off takeoff as well. So, we'll tell ground and everyone that they can now disappear, and we'll track the stairs. Check the doors are closed, which they are. Okay, so we're all ready for our engine start. So we'll go for engine number 2, so we'll turn the packs off, and we'll go for engine number 2. Okay, so you can see now N2's come to life. Oil pressure will start to rise. 25% will introduce fuel, and then that should tell us then from the EGT that engine number 2 has come to life. So it is 23%. 25, introduce fuel, and EGT will start to lift. That tells us that engine 2 has come to life. Whilst we do that, we can see our takeoff center of gravity is at 24.1. Okay, which is 3.99, and we'll go get our ATIS as well. Okay, so 3.99, just about so, which is all set. Engine number 2 has come to life now, so now we go to engine number 1. do is I'm not going to switch over the buses until after takeoff if we do the bleeds off takeoff. So we'll turn on our position light, we can turn on our taxi light as we are ready to go. And now all we have to do is just bring the controls over, and then we are all ready to leave London City. So we'll bring over the throttle. There we go. So what we can do is we'll drop our flaps 10. Just check the fires just to make sure everything's all good. Okay, everything's all good there. And there. So I guess we're all ready to go. We can dim the lights now of the cabin, turn them off, can arm the auto throttle, can arm LNAV and VNAV. Also auto brakes RTO. And now what we can do is we'll power on out, reset our view, and release the brakes, and we'll power on out to runway 27. Once we get onto the runway, then we'll configure the bleeds off, etc. We can turn the packs back on, as that'll be part of the procedure anyway. So made our right turn. As you can see, as we leave the airport onto the 273, you can see that we'll make our right turn to then go onto the 051, and 3000 will hold all the way around. So I thought we'd do it in the bone livery, as obviously this aircraft doesn't operate from London City or have any liveries that was available to even replicate the livery here at London. So I thought we'd just go for the Boeing livery to keep it nice and neutral. Once we take off, then we'll switch all the bleeds back over and we'll do the procedure to turn the bleeds back on. So basically the bleeds off will be, right engine bleed will be off, the APU bleed which will be on, the left will be off, and then the packs will be on along with the isolation valve which will be closed, which we'll do once we step onto the runway, and we'll set the Q&H's up as well on our way up. So we're going to pass over the hold line as we enter onto runway 27. Okay, so what we can do now is put our strobes on, put our wing on,
to pick up, please.
and put our runway turn-offs on.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
So we'll backtrack up the runway now. Once we go up, we'll get our Q&H. Okay, so let's check the ASUS now. So 1028's Q&H broken 3009, 107 variable 250. So 1028, which is set, and 1028. So just before we get to our turn off to then turn around, we'll go ahead and set up for the bleeds off. So Got our right pack which is on or auto, isolation valve we can close. We've got our left pack which is on or auto, left engine bleed can go off, APU bleed on, and the right the right engine bleed can go off as well. So that is pretty much the bleed off takeoff set, and we'll just repeat that in the reverse order. So we're coming up now to a point where we'll make this right turn so we can backtrack round for the runway. We'll power up before we go. We'll pass over Kilo now. We'll follow it around. We'll spool up on the spot before we do release the brakes, so we can get as much power out of the aircraft for our departure. As we get to Mike, we'll turn around and get onto the runway, where we'll then line up and we'll spool up the engines before we take off. We've got the bleeds off now, so we've got that all set to go. Now we could cheat and take an extra little bit of room just in front of us if we turned right off before lining up, but we're not going to do that. We're going to stick to the taxiway. We'll just spool up and really let the engines roar when we come out. So auto brake is set to RTO, flaps are down to 10. Okay, line up here. Okay, so here we are, runway 27. We'll just stop here. We'll line the aircraft up after we go. So we'll put on our brakes. So we've got the bleed off, the APU bleed is on with the left bleed off. We've got the packs on with the isolation valve off. After takeoff, then we'll reverse it, put them all back on, switch over the buses, and then we'll be good to go on our way. So get on our landing lights, which can go on, turn off the taxis as we are all set to leave. I'm going to release the brake, I'm going to spool the engines up, so we can make sure we get the hell out of it. So if everybody's ready, drop a prayer emoji in the stream and let's go. So Togo. Airspeed live.
$80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. 100 knots.
V1 rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Made it out. Okay, so what we can
400.
do is check, put the right bleed on, the APU bleed off, the left bleed's on, and the isolation valve can go back to auto. We'll switch over the buses now and we go to the Gen 1, we'll turn the APU off as we are now currently ascending up. Go to our flaps 2.
1000.
as it's max for 200, so we're going to that right turn now. You can turn the auto brake off, and we turn the gear off as well, as we now make that right turn as we pass 1,110 feet, and we don't want to go max is 200 knots. So we'll just keep on to the flight director as we come around. En route to Brookman's Park with 13 DME from Brookman's Park. And that was one hell of a takeoff. We will get the takeoff cinematics to see if we how far we did clip to the trees, because I did see that they was very close. So aircraft now will take us to 3,000, where we're going to hold out. Still flying the aircraft manually. As we're going to veer around and then come around, so we'll hold to 3,000 now. The weather's not very good, as you can see. Go to flaps 1. As we come back now, level with the flight director. We'll hold that there as we're now on the 051. Just set. Still holding 200 feet as we go into that right turn, and then we'll take that left around. Still going to have to hold for 3,000 until we go all the way down to Brookman's Park. So this 3,000, just drop it down a little so we don't go above. There's 329. I'm currently going to be heading on. Still holding at 200 knots. As you see, the sky is not very nice today, as we are using real-time weather. So we're not too far from Brookman's Park. And what we can do is we'll activate the autopilot. Let the aircraft take control. Take us into that right turn as we come over. And now we're leaving Brookman's Park. We'll switch that off. Okay, and now we'll be going on to 200 below 3,000 and then all the way up to 300. So, as you see, then we go on to the 330, which will hold pretty much now for the whole journey around. And then we'll go all the way up to Fondue, hitting the Deb, and then we'll get up to Fondue ready for Glesk to come in. Once we get above the clouds, it should be quite nice. So 200 below, and then we'll go up to our normal speeds, which is fine, all the way up to Leicester. So 5 nautical miles from Brookman's Park, go to our clean speed, and then we'll go straight up through the clouds. But that was one hell of a takeoff, I must say. If you enjoyed the takeoff, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, as we're always doing flights regularly on the channel, full procedure, and sometimes we have the odd little bit of fun. So we can turn around to the eyes now. Just going to get ready to go up. So re-gear me away, and then we'll go straight into our climb. Retract flaps number 1 to 0, and then passing 10,000. Get the aircraft all ready to go. passing through 7,000 feet now, but the QNH is back to standard. Gear is off, auto brake is up. We can have a look at our checklists. So after takeoff, we've got our air conditioning and pressurization, which is set. Engine start switches, it can go to continuous, which are set. After that, we've got landing gear, which is up and off, which is checked. Also brakes are off, which is checked. Flaps are up, no lights, which is also checked. And our altimeters are set at standard, which is also checked. So after takeoff, checklist is complete. So what we're going to do now is we're going to climb up to 300. And once we get down, show you the route that we're going to take when we do come in to the airport. So as you can see, we're going up to Poton now, and once we go through our steps, we're going to take a right turn at Leicester, where we'll then go all the way down to a Boxer, which will take us right at Gasco. If we just zoom it out just a little more, you can see once we get to Nateb, we will then cross over to come to Findu. On top of this then we'll Lurk, and then we'll come down for Glesk, which is basically then going to be the start of the approach, where we'll then take a series of right turns and then that final left to line us up for Aberdeen. 2,500 feet to inset the ILS. We can have a look here as well. 109.90340, and on our legs 2,500 at ATF, which is right there as well, which is all set. So we'll enter in at Glesk at 4,000 feet, staying with the constrictions, and with that all said and done now, after 10,000 feet, put our landing lights off, you can tell the cabin to relax, turn off our runway turn-offs, and we can go off. And there we are guys, our departure out of London City Airport. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, help us get to that 2k subscriber goal, as we are always here making flights regularly on a daily, weekly basis. We'll be back now full time for a little while, so make use of the flights. Coming out now, that's partly mainly it now that we need to do is pretty much dead straight lines all the way up. If there's any flights you'd like me to do, don't forget to leave them down in the comments. Extra really good flights that I'd like to do is like mountain flights, coming straight through the mountains, you know, on a high speed approach, something like that. So if you guys know any sort of flights like that, do drop them down in the comments, so it'd be great to see, and get to do some new approaches. What we might do tomorrow, depending on how I feel, we might do the RMP approach using the GLS channel for an arrival down in Geneva. So stay tuned for that as well to come as we pass through 14,000 feet. And we're all set now to go in for Aberdeen. We'll see if there's any METAR for Aberdeen, as I couldn't seem to find any on here earlier on. So we'll stick that in and see if anything comes back. So it should be a really good flight. So we'll go to our takeoff cinematics guys, and then we'll get to our top of descent, ready to come in for the arrival on the ILS of 34 Aberdeen. So don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you when we get back when it's time to come in for our arrival. see on the weather radar, you can see there's the ocean right in front of us, as we now backtrack round to come round for Findo onto the 325, which is set. So we've got around 100 miles to get to Findo. We've got our top of descent, which is just around 2/3 in. We'll then come round. There's our top of descent in view as we come round to make our lovely arrival into Aberdeen. Now, we did check the ATIS, which we can have a look at. So QNH down. We'll re-upload Aberdeen as there wasn't any when I looked at it before, so we'll send that off, get a fresh new copy, put our start switches to flight as we're going to get ready to come in for that lovely arrival. So we're currently now 300. We can have a look and see what the weather's saying down in Aberdeen to give us some nice indication of what's going on. We'll get the ATIS up online as well so we can have a look. So QNH is 1011, 22021, Gust at 34 now, so it was 33 before we left London City. So weather hasn't really changed too much. Okay, so 1011 is what we're going to have set in, which will move over when we get near. We'll get a fresh copy of the ATIS just to double check that the QNH hasn't changed as we come round. You can see that it's quite rocky now as turbulence is starting to kick in. So 3-4 gusts, which should be quite interesting before the flight. As the sun is just starting to rise, should make do for a really nice approach. So like I said before guys, don't forget, leave your flights in the comments below. Don't forget to join the Discord as well, which is in the description, the link, as you'll be notified of future flights over on the Discord's official server, so don't forget to miss that. So we're currently 82 nautical miles. We can put in Aberdeen's VOR so we can have a look at our arrival charts. So for the arrival, we're going to come in at Glesk for 4,000 feet on the 037. Then once we're 25 DME from the Aberdeen VOR, we're then going to make a right turn, and we will watch that once we have the VOR set here. We'll watch that at 25 DME. We'll see if the aircraft does turn in accordance with the charts, so we know that things are precise enough on that aspect. So for the Aberdeen VOR, it's the 114. It's the 114.3. So there's Aberdeen, 117 miles to go as we wait for that lovely sun to start to rise down into the airport. You can see on the terrain radar we've got the coast, the ocean water in blue. As you can see, it doesn't look very nice. Wings are shaking just a little. So probably going to get a little bit worse as we come down, and once we get low down into the airport, probably will get a little bit rocky off the coast, as it always is, a bit more windier down by the coasts. Okay, so we're around 40 miles now from our top of descent, Findo will be at 179 and then 091. And on our speeds at 29 and then 2404 Glesk. So our top of descent's 40 miles away. Findo's just under 80. You see here. So 65 miles from Findo. So around 80 miles we'd need, which is just about right once we get down. Glesk is 4,000 above. So what I might do is, I'll let the aircraft run into its top of descent. We'll just slow the aircraft right down as we come, because Glesk should be at 4,000 above. And Naxil is right next to Glesk, so we could probably get away with it. Okay, so brighten things up so we can see the lovely orthos on our way down. As we're now to our top of descent, where the aircraft will start to go back. 290 Findo and then 240 Glesk. We'll be down for 4,000 in Glesk, where we'll then come down for 2,500. So we'll see the vertical deviation start to appear. Our vertical profile, and then we'll get everything all set. 86 DME from the Aberdeen VOR, which is practically at the other end on runway 16. Here comes our top of descent. So there's the retard. And now the aircraft will start to go down into its descent. So put engine start switches to continuous. Tell the cabin to get ready. It should be a nice arrival down into Aberdeen, probably a bit rocky. As we are coming down in, we can refresh the ATIS now one last time, so we can get a rough idea. So passing through 280. See the aircraft's getting quite rocked about. From our 325 we'll then go on to the 036 for Glesk, where we'll then start that series on the right, and then we'll go to that left arc. There's Glesk, and then from one another basically 39 miles, so about 50, maybe 60 miles from 254. Check the ATIS now. 1011, which is fine. 220, same as before, nothing's really changed. Temperature 7. Okay, so 1011, which is set. And 1011, which is set. So they're just armed. We'll activate them when we get closer down. For the ILS, we've got 109.90, which we'll go and check for our approach speeds. Okay, so the 109.90, which is there, we'll go for flaps 50, 151. +7 that. I'm not going to go too deep into the gusts and everything, adjusting the winds, the speeds. So on our landing speed we'll do 151 +7, 158. Now put auto brake number 3. Let's check the runway. Okay, so we've got 2,000 meters. Pass it to 210. We'll now slowly start decreasing the aircraft. For 4,000 at Glesk, once we get near to 4,000 then we'll tune everything in and go down to 2,500, passing through 16,004, 240 on the restraints, 4,000 above at Naxal. So what we'll do is the aircraft to just slowly slow down, as we then will get to 4,000 just as we hit Glesk, and then we can go back to 2,500, hit speed, altitude intervene, and then that should carry the VNAV back down for us to intercept for the ILS. So there's our decel coming down 240. We won't need to decel as we are exactly at 240, slowly slowing down as we head into Aberdeen. Lovely views, lovely amazing orthos that was downloaded yesterday, so I'll make sure that we do a wing view of the arrival. Now we've got some nice cloud coverage as well. Everything looks alright, apart from the wind, which isn't looking very good right now. There's Glesk, and there's our 4,000 above. Just slowing down slowly, 240 on the restraints. So, let's go in and get the aircraft all set up and ready for the ILS. So, 109.90 for the ILS, which is set. Which is also set. Remember, 25 DME from Aberdeen is where we're going to that right turn, so watch out for that as well. We'll see if the coordinates are correct. Go down to 235. Just ease up 100 feet just to slowly get the aircraft to slow down. 246, passing 12,000 feet now. The courses are going to be 340. As soon as we head off from Aberdeen, then we will get the aircraft all ready for that right turn. So go in and check our descent page. So pressurization and landing altitude is set. We've got anti-ice which is currently on, which is fine. The approach briefing and the fuel is discussed. Yeah, but we are coming down on the ILS for runway 34. There we are, currently heading in towards Glesk for 4,000 feet. At 25 DME from Aberdeen, we're going to make that right turn onto the 087 and then another right turn which will then arc the DME all the way around onto the 340. Runway elevations 215, and for our minimums we are coming in at a 415. 5, which is set, which gives us a 200-foot decision height. Passing through 9,000 feet now, put on our landing lights, put on our runway turn-offs. We'll get the taxis on just so they're ready to go. And everything else seems all good. Start switches are continuous now. And we will start to just lower our descent just a little more. Past 8,000, as we don't want to be caught speeding as we come down. So what we'll do is we will adjust our speed and slow the aircraft down now as we are coming down in, go down to 220. Okay, so we'll slow down to our 225, which will give us a little bit more to get into the arrival, and we'll get there for 4,000, so we'll go to 220, stay at 230, so we're still going to make it. It's past 6,005. Get ready to go on to the 087. Okay, so get the Q&H's back now. Set on the 1011, so 25 DME, we're going to make that right turn onto the 087, so we will watch that as we're at 30 DME now, and then we'll switch over the ILS's to come in.
Thousand to go.
There we go. Put the speed brakes back in now. past 4,005. Auto brake is set to number 3.
2,500.
And we've got the Q&H's in. As well, so 400 above. So here's our gusts and wind. So real-time weather is just reloaded, so let's hope we can have a really good arrival today. It should be really nice. So here we go now on to the 087, which is set. And at 25 DME, we did make that right turn as well. Okay. Okay, so currently now in on the arc, so we're going to activate our ILSs now. Now we've got 340 which is set on either side. Okay, as we get ready to arc, can activate the VNAV and we get that down for 2,500.
$2,500.
Okay. Down to our flaps up. As we get the aircraft all ready for our arrival. So, got auto brake number 3. We've got our Q&H, which is the 1011. Which is also set. Start switches are continuous, landing lights are down, and all we've got to do now is get the landing gear down and extend our flaps. From there we've got the ILS course frequencies, which are 10990 for the 340 degree course, which is set and input, and we can see we've got the ILS here, which is established. Now the aircraft's going to start to descend down to meet 2,500 above. And I'm going to tell it now, because of the wind, I want it to just follow the path. Not worried about the speed, as the aircraft can control and stabilise that itself. Okay, so we're all ready to come in. Not going to activate anything yet, as we're not on the right localiser. There are quite a few little airport runways on Aberdeen, so we'll wait until we're fully established at Alpha Tango Foxtrot for 2,500, which will be the start of the arrival. Coming down now 2,005, so we could drop that down now. So there's localizer. So localizer gets over onto the left side, and once it does, we'll activate the approach. Now we'll go down to the 340.
1,000 to go.
Okay, there's our gusts coming in. As we get ready to go. So as we get ready now, ATF, we're going to lock on and get down. So as we see, we've got winds, so we'll get the heading just to turn us a little bit. then we can come in for the localizer. So we'll drop flaps 5. And we're just set. And we can arm the approach now. Okay, so altitude acquired, just slowing the aircraft down now as we get ready to then swing over. So we'll just turn onto the 345, which then starts off for the localizer as we come round. Okay, so there's single channel. Now I did think that the wind was coming from the opposite direction. As you can see, it is moving left, right and centre. So there's our runway now as we have it in sight. Currently 6 miles away. So we go flaps 15, get out. Okay, so it's not very nice, it's quite rocky. We'll see how the weather fares us today as we come down. So as we come down we'll go to flaps 30, which will then give us our rev. We'll put what, 5.8 in as we come down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the autopilot and the auto throttle, and now I have control of the aircraft. I'm not going to make too much major adjustments.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Now we had this yesterday when it was saying don't sink yesterday, and as you can see, if we do go down to catch the glide slope,
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
So we're just going to follow the glide slope anyway, forget the don't sink.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Because I was going to try and hold off, so then we could basically try and get that don't sink to go away, but it's not going to go away even when we are on the glide slope. I did a flight yesterday with it, and we was on the glide slope, and it just completely kept shouting that out until we got over the threshold. So flaps 30, well, gear down, 3 green. As you can see, we're not sinking, but there we go. Auto brake is set to number 3.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Okay.
Don't sink.
300.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
200.
Don't sink.
Minimums.
Continue.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
100.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
50. 40.
Don't sink.
30.
Don't
20.
sink.
10.
Okay, speed brakes are up, and reversers are active.
$80 knots.
And there we are, guys, down in Aberdeen. Just about made it. And we can now come off the runway, retract our speed brakes and our flaps as we now get ready to pull off the runway. In a few moments time we'll get the APU started, and then we'll go to our landing cinematics. Hope you enjoyed the flight, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments down below. So we'll get the strobes to steady, we turn our wheel well off, we can turn the wing, we get our landing lights off. Taxis can stay on, we can turn the seat belts, and we'll get the APU started. There we go. So down in Aberdeen, just about stopped. And there we go, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys when we get back after our landing cinematics. So see you. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the flight tonight. Got the cinematics and couldn't get the taxi to the gate as the aircraft decided to crash when we went back to normal. So I'll bid you farewell, and I hope you enjoyed the flight. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, sub, and help us get to that 2k subscriber goal. Take care for now, guys, and I'll see you for the next available fly. We'll be flying the 757-200 as you voted for that on the community post, so keep out for the lookout for them community posts as we'll be doing flights and having you guys the vote on what happens next. So take care for now, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.